Cypher. Station security reported what happened. The conspirators know who you are. They must have your full record. And they're recruiting your enemies.
If my identity goes public, I'll be hunted through half the galaxy.
I know. Oh, hold on. Transferring you to Keeper.
Apologies for the interruption, but we have a new lead. Watchers 6, 7 and 9 have been searching HoloNet records for conspirator activity. 3 billion lines of communication routing sequences and credit transfer verifications. They found traces of a holoconference held 6 months ago between Hunter and parties unknown.
Could he have been reporting to his superiors?
That is my hope. Unfortunately, this is only a record of the call, not the call itself. Even the Empire can't store every bit of data that crosses the HoloNet. A HoloNet archive does exist, however. The Titan Rings, a massive self-maintaining repository of all galactic communications.
The storage, the technology, the expense of something like that.
About a century ago, an entrepreneur cyberformed the Titan IV moon into an enormous databank designed to listen and record. It was operated by droids and protected by mercenary contract. Like all archives, it ran out of space. Thus, the Titan Rings, a fleet of wrecked starships salvaged for the purpose of data storage. They orbit the moon, still recording, still protected by the mercenaries.
You said the archive was founded by an entrepreneur. Who's behind it? What's the purpose?
No one knows. Most stories credit a hut richer than Sin or an Alderaanian noble who bankrupted himself setting it up. According to the mercenary contract, the information is to be preserved for historical use in a few centuries' time. In other words, no one gets their hands on it.
I'm sure I can surprise our mercenary friends.
The conspirators' recording is located in Archive Node 803A, a derelict Imperial transport ruined in the Battle of Druckenwell. Watchers 6, 7 and 9 will guide you once you're aboard. I want that conference recording, Cypher. Keep it out.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Forgive me, but as your sole medical officer, I have to point out that your eating habits have been less than satisfactory lately. Now, I'll take my share of the blame. I've been preoccupied making calls, catching up on what I've missed in the intelligence community. Still, the fact that people are trying to kill me does not excuse my neglect of your health.
I appreciate your concern, but you've done a fine job.
Says the child to the unstrict parent. But regarding my search, I do have some small amount of news. I've identified one of the assassins as an operative for Colonel Langor, a man with ties to the Imperial Science Bureau. The Bureau is also the likely origin of the other dead men whose genetic structure had been mutated. Weaponized humans.
What do you mean, weaponized humans? What's the Science Bureau doing?
Military research is the Bureau's purpose. Making humans stronger, faster, is one approach. Which reminds me, I'd like your permission to run some tests on Master Vector. I'm rather curious about a joiner's physiology, and Vector is keen to learn more about himself.
No hidden agenda. Just scientific interest.
And a desire to help a bright young man come to terms with his new self. Believe it or not, I rather like Vector.
I have questions about him myself. Find out anything you can.
Certainly. I'll let him know the good news. And of course, I'll keep you apprised.
Sir, I just had a talk with Vector. Not something I do often, but I think I'm getting used to the eyes. When I was a little girl, the only aliens I ever saw were the Cuss City slaves. Now we see stranger things every day.
You must have had a sheltered childhood.
I had the best childhood money could buy. And that includes a good shelter. Anyway, I want to get more combat practice in before tomorrow. Talk soon?
What do you have for me?
Encouraging news. Watch.
Don Herald, forgive the message, but our emissaries were out of reach and we couldn't wait to link with you. Imperial scout ships entered colony space and made contact yesterday. We traded in Membrosia, silk, and star maps. We could smell the men's fright, but they left in peace. Perhaps you were right after all.
A long way from a signed treaty, but it's a start.
So long as Killiks aren't feeding Imperials to their young.
No, human flesh isn't optimal for growing lava. We're in touch with the diplomatic service as well. There's still resistance, but we're progressing. Killiks and Imperials may share space in our lifetime.
I have completed analysis of my restraining codes. Although I cannot leave or cause you direct harm, I'm under no obligation to obey your commands.
Maybe the fixes on Drummond Cass can improve your programming.
I am beyond any biological creature's comprehension. I intend to proceed with my heuristic directive of self-improvement and intelligence upgrades. Cooperate willingly, and I may spare you pain when I am free.
You're ambitious, but you're still a droid. I can take you apart and sell the scrap.
I welcome your attempt. My self-preservation algorithms cannot be overridden.
This is Watcher 6 to the Hand of Jadis. You have accessed Node 803A of the Titan Rings HoloNet archive. Transmitting mission parameters.
This is Watcher 7. Download data fragments from assigned terminals so we may decrypt and reconstruct the conspirator communication.
This is Watcher 9. You have authorization to terminate anyone who interferes. It is our privilege to work with you.
Accessing first data fragment. Applying preliminary decryption algorithm.
Got the call, but make it quick. I don't want to be missed.
93% likelihood speaker is designate Hunter.
Proceed with the operation, Cypher 9. We will continue reconstruction attempts.
Scorpio sanctions activated. The target has been obliterated. Fools always believe they can defeat me. I require better targets.
Accessing second data fragment. Modifying decryption algorithm.
This will, of course, be my final appearance at these gatherings, but the galaxy I leave behind.
No voice print identification available. Reconstruction incomplete.
The target has been obliterated. I require better targets.
Accessing third data fragment. Attempting playback.
My sympathies. With the old man lost, the next enforcer will be difficult to train.
Experiencing data corruption, we will hope the last fragment provides redundancy.
Defeat me.
Accessing fourth data fragment. Splicing now.
I am here. All is ready.
This is Keeper. Cypher, get out of there. Reinforcements are on the way, and there's nothing more you can do.
On my way back to the ship.
The Watchers will try to reconstruct the holoconference back at headquarters. Come to Drum and Cars as soon as possible, and we'll figure out our next move. Keeper out.
Defeat me.
Fractal Thought Pattern 27. Reanalyze.
Come in. They're reconstructing the Conspirators Holoconference now.
Anything turn up so far?
Preliminary analysis bears out our theory. The call was initiated by Hunter, somewhere in the Bremer sector 6 months ago. The recording you pulled is intact, but... Watcher 9?
Splicing and decryption complete.
Rules of the Chorus Covenant. I call this meeting to order.
Spare us the corporate posture and report.
Since you're in a hurry. Senator Varala and Representative Shuru are predictable as always.
And Commodore?
All taken care of. What about you? Those earnest Padawans keeping you up at night?
Different participants on different data streams. Processing.
There's Hunter. What about the others?
I don't know.
Domain is unsettled, as we expected. I must again raise the concern. Do we overplay our hand?
There is the chance it will spin out of control. Darth Angral, Darth Barris, now the children are awakening.
For each, there is a Republic counterbalance.
We're letting loose the reins, but we're not taking off their blinders. Sit back and enjoy the spectacle.
However much power they've got, they see their plan as a risk.
To bicker. Each of us agreed to the timetable. Each of us reports success in our own sphere.
Ambition must never be our master. Patience serves our noble cause best. But if our enforcer approves...
I do, I swear.
Then we move forward to Armageddon.
Keeper, the War Council needs you. Sir?
Call for a medic. Go!
Yes, sir.
What's our status?
Keeper and the others are on life support. Fixers theorized the transmission had a hidden overlay. A code or image only a genetically enhanced mind could recognize. Designed to overwhelm and shut down the brain.
You said they're on life support. Any prognosis?
Without understanding the trigger, they could be vegetables for hours or for decades. Losing this many analysts, forget about Keeper. It's going to be a blow to the war. I'll support you where I can, but right now I've got a few dozen field agents without handlers. Your operation.
I speak with the authority of the Sith. My operation is theirs.
While you were on Belsavis, Keeper was compiling leads on the planet Voss. If you want to head there, I'll see what I can pull up. I've apprised the Minister of Intelligence, Darth Jadis, too, but he's still in seclusion. That's all I can do.
I didn't know them well, but I'm sorry, sir. We'll hunt down the people who did this.
Cypher, hope you don't mind my checking in. You weren't expecting any other calls?
Why are you contacting me, Hunter?
Your visit to Mega Security Ward 23 left it in bad shape. Now do I come into your house and break your things? But you finding that holotrap? Frying your keeper's synapses? That's kind of cosmic justice.
I saw you meeting with some sort of council. Who were they?
Old friends of mine. You'd like them, but they're shy. Cypher, it's been fun. Playing tag, brainwashing you. Remember your keyword? But you keep coming, and we'll destroy your world. No friends, no allies, no empire left to fight for. Are you ready for that?
You're assuming I don't stop you first. This is Cypher 9 to crew. Prepare for takeoff.
My good friend, have you noticed that the price of Dianogan tea has risen considerably since we broke the Treaty of Coruscant? One of the costs of war you never anticipate. And now my jamming device is working, so we can dispense with the inanities.
What jamming device? What are you talking about?
Just in case someone's monitoring us. Thanks to a now wealthy Kubaz information broker, I've identified the people who want me dead. They represent an organization called Project Protean, a secret research and development group inside the Imperial Science Bureau.
What does Protean do? And what do they want?
Protean researches practical applications of alien biology. You recall the genetically modified assassins who came after me? They're only the beginning. Imagine troops spliced with Abyssin genes to enhance healing, or adrenals derived from Gamorrean hormones. Most test subjects don't fare well, but you can see the potential.
That sounds awfully like what you were doing on Taris.
There's a great deal of interdepartmental rivalry in our work, and my research does overlap with theirs. They may have targeted me in order to ensure that they have no competition, inside or outside the Empire.
Tell me where to find these people. I'm going to talk to them.
Right now, I'm unsure where the project is based or how to contact its members, but I wanted to keep you apprised. Now, about that Dianogan tea.
Something I can help you with, Ensign? I was hoping you could increase my security clearance, sir. At least long enough so I could know about my promotion.
What promotion are we talking about?
The top secret one, sir. I can only assume it occurred. I'm pleased to say that I finished, as best I can, putting myself through the Imperial intelligence training regimen, save the psychological tests. With your help, I'm now almost qualified to be here. Thank you.
You're a fine operative. You should be proud.
I am proud, sir. I thought you could tell.
What's going on?
Agent, in our work with the diplomatic service, we find ourselves talking to people we once knew. We've been contemplating this.
Hello, Vector. It's Honora. I don't know if you remember me, but Bryson said he thought you would, and I wanted to talk to you. I know things didn't end well, but I never forgot. You need to get out of there. Come back to Drummond Cars and we'll get you help. We can undo what the Killiks did. There are still people who care about you.
We've watched it 17 times and meditated to the static.
You two used to be a couple.
We were nearly engaged to Honora very long ago. We never considered that there are people who want us restored to what we were. But watching this, feeling nothing, we know we're no longer who we were when we loved her.
If you could be restored, would you want it?
No. We had to know if our reaction was unnatural, but we don't think it is. We are content.
I've learned to access your culture's holographic network. Listen. $18 trillion desperate attempts to communicate per second. I hadn't realized your species were so starved for interaction.
What have you discovered, sifting through those transmissions?
I now understand your frustrations. I look at you and see neurons fire in your brain. I scan your body and know how you taste. But you're blind, alone, and confused.
If you're so far beyond biological creatures, what's the point of analyzing them?
You dominate the galaxy. I'm curious, and do not sleep. Our time together has provided new information and sensations. These will prove useful in a future upgrade.